First full week of the new legislative session begins tomorrow in Santa Fe. First and foremost on the agenda, passing a state budget. But of course, there's a long list of bills both the governor and state lawmakers are trying to get passed. Today, the governor talked about 4 of them, targeting public corruption. News 13's Scott Daniels is live downtown where the governor made her push earlier today. Scott?
Tim, Governor Susana Martinez picked the downtown Metro Courthouse as her backdrop today. Who could forget the scandal, the corruption scandal that took place here during the courthouse construction project? 8 people were convicted, including former state senator Manny Artegon, who is now serving time in federal prison. Artegon is just one face among New Mexico's corrupt politicians. Remember former state treasurer Robert Vigil, convicted of attempted extortion? How about former PRC Commissioner Jerome Block Jr., who recently admitted to a string of illegal activities while in office? Today, Governor Martinez said it's time to take a harder stance.
We're here to talk about 4 pieces of legislation that will help to hold those convicted of corruption accountable.
The governor's goal is to restore trust in state government. One bill she's supporting would increase penalties for elected officials convicted of public corruption, forfeit his or her pension, and ban them from ever doing business with the state. Another bill would require the immediate removal from office for any elected official convicted of corruption. The governor pointed to Jerome Block Jr. as an example.
Earlier this year, we saw that former PRC Commissioner Jerome Block pled guilty to serious crime and was still allowed to draw a paycheck from the taxpayers for 10 to 14 days.
Another bill would prevent the state from paying for public officials' legal fees in corruption cases. And the 4th and final bill would prevent legislators from lobbying the state for 2 years after leaving public office. Governor Martinez claims to have support from both Democratic and Republican lawmakers, some of whom were there with her today.
We've had more than our fair share of public corruption issues in our state.
Corruption is a very expensive problem for the citizens of this state.
According to State Representative Nate Gentry, he says corruption costs a lot of money for New Mexico. He says about $200 million every year. Tim, back to you.
All right, thank you, Scott. Getting her initiatives through the Democratic-controlled legislature might be a tough job for the governor. Political blogger Joe Monahan predicts a session with a lot of thunder and lightning, but little rain. That means with political gridlock, don't expect to see very much come out of the session aside from passing the state budget.